Is it fair for officials to pay millions despite being acquitted? See how a Filipino treasurer's case redefines accountability. This is decided in the case decided by the Supreme Court entitled Matobato Sr. versus People of the Philippines, GR number. 229,265, date of promulgation. February 15, 2022.
This is the 39th case out of the 160 cases decided by Associate Justice Mario Lopez, chairperson of the 2024 Philippine Bar Examinations. Follow for more.
Facts of the case. The case involves Silvino B. Matobato Sr., Silvino, the Municipal Treasurer of Pantukan, Compostela Valley, and two members of the Sandiganbayan of the same municipality, Walter B. Bacao, Walter, and Cirilla A. Angbino, Cirilla. On September 22, 1994, the Sandiganbayan passed Resolution No. 164, authorizing Silvino to transfer municipal funds from the Land Bank of the Philippines to Davao Cooperative Bank, DCB. From 1994 to 1998, Silvino transferred various amounts to DCB through a time deposit account. However, DCB became insolvent in 1998 and went under receivership, resulting in the municipality's inability to withdraw the deposited funds. The Commission on Audit, COA, in its 1998 annual audit report found that these funds, treated as idle by the Sandiganbayan, should have been allocated to municipal projects. The implementation of these projects was compromised due to the funds' inaccessibility. Consequently, the COA recommended criminal and administrative charges against the municipal officials involved. The Ombudsman charged Silvino, Walter, Cirilla, and other officials with violation of Section 3(e) of Republic Act No. 3019, Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, for conspiracy and gross inexcusable negligence in issuing the resolution. They were accused of not verifying DCB's financial status before the transaction. However, in 2016, the Sandiganbayan acquitted them based on reasonable doubt. It found that the prosecution did not prove gross and inexcusable negligence. Despite their acquittal, the Sandiganbayan held them civilly and solidarily liable for P9.25 million, the unrecovered amount of municipal funds, reasoning that their negligence still led to civil liability. Silvino, Walter, and Cirilla filed petitions challenging their civil liability. Silvino argued that DCB's ongoing liquidation meant actual damage to the municipality was not yet ascertained. Walter and Cirilla contended that there was no preponderant evidence for the Sandiganbayan's ruling and invoked the presumption of regularity in performing official functions.
Primary issue in the Supreme Court. The key issue before the Supreme Court was whether the Sandiganbayan erred in holding Silvino, Walter, and Cirilla civilly and solidarily liable for the loss of public funds, despite their acquittal on criminal charges.
Decision of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court denied the petitions, affirming the Sandiganbayan's decision and resolution. It held that the dismissal of the criminal action did not extinguish the civil liability, as the acquittal was based on reasonable doubt, and civil liability can be established by a preponderance of evidence. The court found that Silvino did not exercise reasonable care and caution in handling the municipal funds, and his actions did not reflect the necessary diligence required of his position. It also held that Walter and Cirilla, as Sandiganbayan members, should have exercised due diligence in scrutinizing the investment proposal and were negligent in merely relying on verbal assurances about DCB's financial stability. Important doctrines. 1. Civil liability independent of criminal liability. Civil liability can arise even in the absence of criminal liability, especially when the acquittal in the criminal case is due to reasonable doubt, not an outright declaration of innocence. 2. Standard of proof for civil liability. In civil cases, the standard of proof is the preponderance of evidence, which is lower than the standard of proof beyond reasonable doubt required in criminal cases. 3. Duty of care by public officials. Public officials are held to a standard of reasonable care and caution in their official functions, especially in handling public funds. Negligence in performing these duties can lead to civil liability. 4. Accountability of public funds. Public funds must be managed with utmost care, reflecting the fiduciary duty of the government and its officials to the public. Mismanagement can lead to civil liability, reinforcing the principle that public office is a public trust.